Welcome to episode number 30. I'm CJ Werleman. Thank you for joining us. This week we look at how Indian occupation forces continue to kill Kashmiri Muslims in staged or fake encounter killings. But first, a quick reminder to click on the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Now let's get into it. If there's one thing the Indian military is good at, it's detaining, torturing, killing and forcibly disappearing Muslims in Kashmir. And while it may suffer regular humiliating defeats in cross-border skirmishes against China and Pakistan, the Indian military has managed to kill more than 100,000 Kashmiri Muslims since 1990, with many buried in unmarked graves. You see, India has perfected a custom-made pattern of murder in occupied Kashmir, and it goes something like this. Step 1, target Kashmiri youth in cordon and search operations. Step 2, stage an encounter or shoot out against cornered Kashmiris. Step 3, murder or execute them in cold blood. Step 4, hide or destroy their bodies. And Step 5, threaten and detain grieving family members, accusing them of terrorism or sedition. Step 6, reward soldiers who commit the atrocities. Step 7, repeat all of the above over and over again. What I've described to you is not only a pattern of murder established in Kashmir during the past 40 years, but also during the past week, when Indian forces claim to have killed 4 militants. Play the clip.
The top commander of TRF, Afaq Sikandar, has been killed along with 3 other militants in 2 separate encounters. 1 militant is still being engaged in gunfight.
But because the Indian military couldn't produce any evidence that it had shot and killed so-called militants, it instead described 2 of the deceased as associates. I mean, what? What the hell does that even mean, associates? What it means is you can be shot dead because a so-called militant so happened to once visit your place of work, mosque, or your dental practice. Here's a photo of the 2 associates killed by Indian soldiers last Monday. The guy on the left owns a shopping centre, and the guy on the right is a dental surgeon. Now, because the Indian military had trouble convincing the public and media the 2 men were militants or terrorists, it promptly changed its story, saying they were killed in crossfire. You see, for years it has been common practice to kill young Kashmiri men and then later accuse them of being militants or infiltrators from Pakistan. But ever more cruelly, Indian forces refused to hand over the bodies of the innocent men to their grieving loved ones, who held a vigil on Wednesday, pleading they be allowed to bury their deceased husbands, sons and fathers with dignity and respect. Watch.
तुम मारोगे हम चलाएंगे हंस रहे थे वो हमारे हंस रहे थे हंस तुम मारोगे हम चलाएंगे तुम मारोगे हम चलाएंगे हंस रहे थे हंस.
Here's the daughter of 48-year-old Ahmad Butt, the businessman who was shot and killed on Monday. Play.
मेरा भाई वो 2nd क्लास में है, वो बहुत छोटा है, उसको हम क्या कहेंगे, उसको नहीं पता है, उसको अपने पापा के साथ बहुत है, मुझे मेरे पापा के साथ बहुत है. अब मैं क्या करूंगी, मैं अपनी माँ को कैसे संभालूंगी, वो खड़ा नहीं उठ पा रही है, वो इतना रो रही है, मैं क्या करूं.
But the Indian government's cruelty doesn't start and stop there. We are talking about a fascist, anti-democratic regime, one governed by a radicalized Hindu for ideology, exerting its will and force on a people who rightly view them as foreigners. You see, the families aren't even calling for an investigation into the killings, and nor are they demanding justice of any kind here. They just want to bury their loved ones in accordance with their religious faith, and they carried out this request peacefully, quietly, and out in the freezing cold. But instead of adhering to their simple demand, Indian security forces instead cut the electricity to their village and then assaulted, detained and charged them and journalists with sedition. Watch. You see, India makes a habit of snatching and disposing the bodies of Kashmiri Muslims. Out of fear their wounds will reveal the dead were used as human shields by Indian soldiers, a practice the Indian military is well known for. Play.
2000 onward, this is 2000. We don't have the figures before 2000 because the intensity of the violence was more in 1990. So it's continuing, human shield. Yeah. We have if you remember that one of the very important case was it was in 2004 in Bandipora, Chatti Bandi, where the 5 civilians were taken as a human shield and they got killed. Then even we have the statement of then law minister, that Muzaffar Beg, that the action has been taken against some of the guilty persons, which was far from the truth.
And who can ever forget footage that went viral on social media a couple of years ago showing a young Kashmiri man being strapped to the hood of an Indian military jeep to be used as a human shield. Roll it. Worse, the Indian commander in charge of this operation was neither punished nor reprimanded. Instead, he was awarded a Medal of Commendation by the Army. Go.
Outrage against the human shield major continues to pour in. The Army has now rewarded this officer. Major Gogoi has received the Chief of Army Staff salutation, a commendation card for his sustained efforts on counterinsurgency operations, an honor only secondary to a gallantry award.
I mean, what message does this send to nearly 1 million Indian soldiers in Kashmir? It says that no level of violence against Muslim civilians will go punished, even when that violence violates international law and draws international scrutiny. Essentially, Indian soldiers have free rein to harass, intimidate, threaten, assault, torture, rape and kill Kashmiri Muslims wherever and whenever they believe such violence is called for. It's for this reason the Indian government blocks international journalists, politicians and human rights activists from visiting Kashmir. On Monday, Indian forces raided the home of prominent human rights organisation and the home of Kashmiri human rights activist Khurram Parvez. Watch.
Human rights activist was arrested by the National Investigative Agency in connection with the terror funding case. Khurram Parvez was arrested by the National Investigating Agency, which conducted raids at his home and his office in Srinagar. Khurram is the program coordinator of the Jammu and Kashmir Coalition of Civil Society and chairperson of the Asian Federation Against Involuntary Disappearances. The rights groups have extensively documented cases of disappearances, torture and extrajudicial killings in Kashmir for the last 3 decades.
This is why we must sound the alarm for what has become a human rights apocalypse in the disputed territory. But to that end, where is the global outrage? Where is the Western left, who so loudly and vociferously champion human rights for the occupied Palestinian people? Why do they remain silent on Kashmir? How many more Kashmiri Muslims must be shot and killed in fake encounters, buried in unmarked graves, tortured in secret dungeons, and harassed daily by Hindu Indian soldiers who do little to conceal their hatred of the territory's indigenous Muslim population? It falls upon us to raise their voices and pressure our governments into fulfilling Kashmir's long-promised UN-mandated referendum. Kashmiri Muslims must finally get a say in how they want to live. Anyway, that's a wrap for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to this channel and help spread the word with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we kindly ask you please support this endeavor by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWellerman. We can't produce, sustain, and grow the show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good day, wherever you are, and stay blessed.